Welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make a Canadian sleeve. Yes, Canada smoking sleeve, but the one I'm making now is the triangle shape, the arrow shape. Yes, we have different types of Canadian smoking. We have the bone type, and we have many more like that, but today I'm making the arrow type. Yes, so what the measurement I'm going to be using for this will be 1 inches, 1 inches. And when I measure, I'm working with my ruler and pen, and when I measure the 1 inches on my ruler, I notice that the width of my ruler is also 1 inch. So I'm going to use my ruler directly. I don't have to use tape because tape will make it slow, like that. So I'm just going to measure 1 inches. Like I'm going to roll out the ruler. Like I'm making a line. That's like I'm making a line. That's what I'm going to do here. Just as you're seeing it, I'm making lines, straight lines. I'm making straight lines like that. So I'm going to make it all through the width of the fabric, all through. So I'm making a straight line. Just like that. So after making the straight line through the width of the fabric, this is what I get, like this. So this is the result of what I get here. This is what I get. So I want to confirm if it is truly 1 inch. Can you see that, guys? It is 1 inch. I told you the ruler works, really helps. So when you are walking, when you are doing this, you have to have a ruler. Yes, I don't know the kind of type of ruler you have with you, but you are going to surely work with a ruler. Marking the lines with a free hand is not going to be that easy. So you just make use of your ruler. So after doing that, I'm going to make a straight line too throughout the length of the paper. So I'm going to make a straight line through the length of the paper. It's just going to be in form of rows and columns. So that's how it's just going to be, like in form of rows and columns. I don't know if you are getting me. It's not just going to be like in form of rows and columns. So what I did in the first ones, I'm going to repeat it up there like that. So I'm just going to roll it out like that. Yeah, so it's just going to be in form of rows and columns, or should I say in form of square shapes, square shapes like that. So every side is going to be it's going to be equal. Yes, so I'm using 1 inch on this too, and we all know that my ruler is 1 inch the width, so I don't have to to measure that much. So I'm just going to to draw a straight line there, straight line like that. Please, when you are actually working on this, you have to be very, very patient. Yes, you have to be very, very patient. You don't have to be in a hurry. Oh, I want to make this one. No. All you have to do is to be very, very, very patient. This style doesn't require hurry. So that's why if you're making for a customer, you have to what should I say, to make sure this customer, even the customer is really going to pay, you have to build that customer. I'm not saying you should build the customer much, but due to the time, it's time consuming. That's what I'm talking of. So you have to know how to pay your customer. Sorry guys, sorry for that. Person placing that camera isn't placing it, is it being placed, it plays it well rather. Which type of English am I speaking? The person thinks plays it very well, so that's why it is just doing anyhow. Bear with me please. So after rolling it out just like I showed you now, this is what I have. Can you see this? This is what I have. This is what I have. So I'm just going to go to the upper part, like the top part, the upper part. I'm just going to go to the upper part. What I'm trying to do here is to show you guys that it is actually one inch. One inch. Don't forget, if you make it like 2 inch, 3 inch, oh no, it will be too big. Like the arrow will be too big. So that's why I'm making it 1 inch. If it is the bone type that you are making, that's when you can make use of 1.5 inches, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. But when you are making use of this arrow type, you have to make use of 1 inch. So what I'm doing here is I want to number the up part, so it will be easy for me to go to the next step. So I'm going to leave the first row. So I'm going to start from the second row, and I'm going to number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on like that till it gets to the second to the last. Yeah, second to the last. Like I don't know if I get it. I'm not going to number all the bosses inside, like the top part, the up part. That's what I'm just going to measure, only that one. I'm not measuring the remaining ones, just like that. So after measuring it, I'm going to write something like V. Like I'm going to trace a V there, just like the ABCs for the school people. They will be writing for those small crush. They will be writing A in the bus, B in the bus, just like this. So as for me, I'm going to write V. V is what we need, the V letter, just like that. I slant one part of the V is on the bus, and the second part of the V will be on another bus. So like that, V. I'm just going to write V. So after writing V, I will skip the next two columns. I will jump to the next one. I'm going to write V2 like that. We're working on two buses. Two buses. I'm going to skip that 2 buses too. I'll go to the next 2 buses. Then write V. There's actually a reason why I leave the front part, so I'm going to tell you later. I leave the first part so that whenever I want to join it to the dress I want to join it to, so it will be easier to join. That's why I left the front part. So I will skip the next one and go to the next one. I write my V. I hope you're getting what I'm saying, guys. So I'll skip the next 2 buses again and go to the next one. The 2 buses I'm talking of is one opposite each other. 1, 2. Just like that. So I'll go to the next row. I just work on row 1 and 2. So I want to work on row 3 and 4 now. Yeah, you can say I skip that. I write V, I skip that. I write V, I skip that. Sorry, the camera is just doing some the person placing that camera isn't placing it well at all. But what can I do? I'm so sorry guys, the next video is not going to be like this, it will be much better. So I'm going to skip the 3 and 4 column. The first one at the top, I'm going to skip it, like it's not going to be beside each other. So I'll write it in the next one. I don't know if you actually get what I'm saying, but when you look at it very well, you actually get it. So I will skip that one, the 2 boxes there. I'll go to the next one. If you actually look at it, you'll get what I'm doing. That's that. You don't have to write the V beside each other, like you write one V here, you write the second one beside it. No, it will just be as if you're writing W, so it won't be like that at all. That's not what we want. It is V that we want. So I will skip, I will write V there, then skip that one, go to the other line, so I'm done with row 3 and 4. Then I'll go to 5 and 6. I'll write V there. Skip V. I'll write V there. Skip the other one. Write V there. Just like I did to the first row and the second row. So you will understand guys, you just have to be patient and watch the video very well. If you don't get it now, you just have to watch the video over again. Very simple and easy, but just time consuming guys, very time consuming. Yeah, but as for me, I don't mind the time consuming time or not. I don't mind, because when I'm working on the fabric, I like taking my time to work on it to look perfect, so that when I wear such dress out, I got a lot of people admiring. Oh, I like your style, I like your style. Even I'll get more jobs, yes, more work. So that's just it. So I'm just trying to explain there again how I did it. Can you see how it looks like now? I'm going to do it all in all the boxes, all the boxes. So that's why you don't have to be patient. You have to do it row by row, so you won't make mistake. Can you see how it looks like? I'm just going to explain again. That's what I'm doing there. Can you see? Can you see that? So I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to do everything there. That's how I'm going to do it. So I'll show you how it looks like when I'm through. Yes, I'm done with it now. And this is what I have. This is what I have. This is it. This is the result I got. Hope you guys can see. I'm done with everything. So this is the actual fabric I'm working on. This is it. Yeah. And this fabric, I'm only using it for the tutorial. It's not like I'm fixing it to a particular. I'm using it for a tutorial. This tutorial, I'm using it for this tutorial. I'm not fixing it to any, any clothes. So it's small. That's why I'm not fixing it to a clothes small. So when you're working on your own, you have to make it. The fabric is really going to be much. It requires much fabric. Because maybe the width of the fabric you are working on, maybe you normally use 9 inches for the armhole for arm something. So you have to make it times 3 for the width. Before I explain that, let me quickly explain this one I'm doing here. So what you are going to be using is thread and needle. Thread and needle. So you have to thread the needle. Then you are going to put the thread inside the V. Like it's going to be as if you are using the needle and the thread to trace the V again. Like you are using it to trace the V. That's just how it's going to look like. It's going to be as if you are using it to trace the V. You will get what I'm saying now. Don't worry. Here's the next step. You will get what I'm saying now. To get what I'm saying, please just have to be patient. That camera is not well placed. I don't know. I don't know. I promise you guys, my next video is not going to be like this. Just doing anyhow with the camera. Yes. Just wait, please. I'm going to explain again. So what I did there, I put the needle in the thread and the needle and thread in the what's it called, in the shape. So I'm trying to trace it. So I'm going to bring it out. I don't know, even I myself, I feel somehow doing this, but I have to. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. I'm just going to trace the triangle shape. So I'm going to put, you can see how I did it there. I put the needle in the paper and pull it out again. So I'll put it in the next edge, the edge again, the next edge like that. So I'm not going to tie the bottom, that end. I'm not going to tie it, and I'm not going to bring everything out. It will remain small parts at the edge there. I don't know, at the end of the thread. It will remain little there. So I'm going to trace it again like that to this place like that, and I'm going to bring it out. So I'll pull it in and pull it out like that. You can see it's just as if I'm using the thread and needle to trace the V again. Then I will, the two places that is remaining, the end there and the remaining one there, I'm going to, join it together. I'm going to tie it together. Sorry, the paper cut. I can't actually tie paper with rope very well because it will end up cutting. But I'm just using this paper to explain. I will do it on the main fabric and you will see. Please watch how I'm just going to do it. The hand part, I'm not going to bring everything out. The hand part, I'm going to remain small there. Then pull it out in the next edge of the triangle. I'm only working on the triangles. Those places that we didn't write anything in the boxes, we are not working on it. We're only working on the triangle. So I'll bring it out like that. The edge there. And I will tie it together. So it's cutting on the paper. Now I'll move to the main fabric. Yes. Everything I did on the paper, I've already done it here. It only remains the what's it called, the tying, putting of the thread. So you're going to get what I'm saying now. So I pull the thread at the edge of that's my first triangle. I pull the thread and the needle there, but I didn't bring everything out once. Yes. So I put it on the next edge like that. Please, you have to be working rows by row by row. So you don't have to do it scatter, no. Then at the next edge, can you see that? I'm not tying it though. I didn't tie it as I'm putting it in the edges. So it's the last edge. After bringing out the last edge, that's when I will now I will now, tight everything together, then tie. No, I will not it. Yes, can you see that? Then I will hold the two remaining string there and tie it together. I'll make it very tight. Like that. I'll draw it together. Then I will tie it. This is how I'm tying my own. Can you see that? I'm just going to tie Then I'll cut it. After tying, I'll cut it. Please, you have to cut your own very low and tight. I don't want the thread showing. That's how you have to use a matching thread. The thread that will match the fabric you are using. So I'll move to the next one. Please, you have to walk row by row so you won't make mistake. So I will do the same thing I did at the first one to the second one. Please, you have to take note that the first edge, once you bring it out, you won't bring out all the thread from the first edge. You will remain small at the end, small or little, that it will be enough for you to tie it when you are through. Like that. I'll bring it out like that. Can you see that? Then I'll put it on the next edge. Then bring it out and tie. So I'm working row by row. I'm still working on one row now. Still on a row now. I'm still working on a row. So I will advise when you're using your own fabric, if your normal length, like the sleeve length, if you're having like, maybe for example, you're having like 10 or 12 as your, I don't know how long you want your sleeve to be, but if it is 12 or 10 or 13, that is your normal sleeve length that we are using, you have to add like 12 to 13 inches to it, to your normal sleeve length if you are doing this style. The length, see, sorry for using that language, for those of you that understand it, that's how I use it. For the length, you have to use like 12 to 13 inches. You have to add 12 to 13 inches to your normal sleeve length that you are using. And for the width, like for the breadth, for the breadth, you have to, if your normal armhole or something you use, maybe you're using 9 or 8 or 8.5, you have to times it. You have to multiply it by 3. That's 9 times 3 will give us 27. We are smoking it together. So when we finish smoking, it's really going to, everything is going to squeeze together, join together, everything is going to smoke, tie together. So that's why you need much fabric for it. So you are going to times it by 3. Times 3. That's what you're going to do. Times 3. Like your normal width of fabric times 3. That would be 30. That would be 27. And if your own is 10, like the width of your own fabric, the normal one you are using is 10, so you have to multiply it by 3. That will give you 30. And for the length, you don't have to multiply the length by 3, because the length is not really taking much fabric. So you are just going to add like 12 to 13 extra inches to it. So by the time you are through with it, it will be the normal size you want. So I'm still working on a row. I hope you can see that. Still working on a row. Still working on a row. Still working on a row. That's why I said when you're working on heat, you have to be very, very, very patient and calm. And we are making this tie for your customer. Trust me. Oh, you have to build that customer. Yes. Because it is time consuming. You have to really build that customer. Not building that will make the customer run away. I don't think it as in, at least, you know how you build your customers. Now you build them. So I'm just going to do that in all the rows of the fabric. This is how the back parts look like. I'm through with the first row, and that is how the back parts look like, and this is how the front parts look like. So at first it may not make sense maybe you've checked your own first row and it doesn't seem like making sense to you. Don't worry until you get to half, or when you're through with everything, just check again, then you will love the outcome. I hope you see that. This is the back. So I've done half of it now. Half of it. So this is how the back part look like, and this is the front part. I hope you can see it. That is now, yes, becoming the shape that we want, the arrow shape. So I'm done with everything here. Everything. Oh my god, I really love this style. I love it. Like, you can even use it for the front of your dress. It's not only for the sleeve, you can use for the front of your dress. Yes, this is how the back part look like. Naturally, you can see that there that I later use yellow thread, so it doesn't match it. But when you're doing your own, make sure it matches. This one is not for customer, it's just for tutorial. That's why you can say I use yellow thread. But if you're making for yourself or you're making for customer, you have to make a matching thread. When you make a matching thread, the thread won't even show in it. Like, I don't know if you understand, so it won't show in it. So this is how it really looks like. Can you see? So in my next tutorial, I will teach you how to fix it to your dress. How to fix it to your to your dress. I don't know. So I'm going to teach you how to fix it to your dress. Maybe you want a normal sleeve dress or an off shoulder, how to shape it, everything. I'm just going to teach you in my next tutorial. So please subscribe if you find this video helpful. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to know anytime I upload a new video. Please make sure you like and share and subscribe. Please, 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 and please. So the next video will be how to visit to our dress. Hope you can see that. I really love it. Very, very lovely. Thank you.